Just a couple of years ago, Great Britain was considered to have a 2.5-party political system. This is a political science speak for a party system with two main parties and a smaller party somewhere in the middle. The Conservative Party occupied the centre-right sphere, the Labour Party occupied the centre-left sphere, and the Liberal Democrats occupied the middle ground. The Conservatives and Labour were the parties of power, while the Liberal Democrats could on rare occasion be in a kingmaker position where they could partake in a coalition government. You then also had two prominent regionalist parties in the shape of the Scottish National Party, advocating for Scottish independence, and Plaid Cymru, advocating for Welsh independence. But that was it. Now though, Great Britain seems to be on its way to becoming a proper multi-party system. The Nationalist Populist Reform UK Party is leading in national polls, and the Socialist Environmentalist Greens are on a slow and steady path towards prominence. But did you know Britain's always had plenty of parties beyond the mainstream ones? According to the UK Parliament, there are currently about 160 political parties registered in the UK today. Some will be almost entirely dormant, others will be active parties with memberships and organisations that stand candidates during elections. While parties beyond the ones I've mentioned by name so far will be more or less powerless and without proper impact, it's still interesting to look at some of the small minorities that you might otherwise not hear much about. So in this video, I will go through what I think are the 20 most prominent of these smaller parties in Great Britain. For the sake of housekeeping, the criteria I'm using is this. 1. It must be a British party. I'm excluding parties in Northern Ireland as it has its own unique, interesting and complex party system so different from the rest of the UK. 2. It cannot have won seats at the last UK House of Commons, Scottish Parliament or Welsh Senate elections. But if it's represented in one of the parliaments due to a defection, it's still eligible. And 3. It must be formally registered as a party in the UK. I'll be going through these parties alphabetically, so don't try to read anything into the order of them. And so, without further ado, let's get into it. Abolish the Welsh Assembly Party. The Abolish the Welsh Assembly Party is a Welsh anti-devolution, softly centre-right party in Wales. As its name implies, its big mission is to get rid of the Welsh Parliament, the Senedd. The party was founded in 2015 and stood list candidates in the 2016 Welsh Senedd election, where the party only received just over 4% of the vote and did not win any seats. In the following years, the party gained a few semi-prominent defections. The two most prominent were members of the Senedd, formerly elected for UKIP. It was Gareth Bennett and Mark Reckless, though Reckless only came after first defecting to the Conservatives and then again to the Brexit Party before he came to the Abolish the Welsh Assembly Party. In 2020, due to an internal conflict in the party, it was briefly deregistered with the Electoral Commission until it was re-registered in 2021, just in time to stand candidates in the 2021 Senedd election, where it again did not win any seats and won fewer votes than the previous. The party continues to stand in elections, but it very much seems to be a party that has already had its peak. The Alba Party. The Alba Party is a Scottish pro-independence party with generally socialist and socially conservative views. It was founded in 2021 and launched by former Scottish First Minister Alex Salmond after he left the Scottish National Party after conflict with the then leader Nicola Sturgeon. He was joined by MPs Neil Hanby and Kenny McCaskill. The party first contested the 2021 Scottish Parliament election. Here they stood a good handful of former SNP MSPs and MPs, including Alex Salmond, George Caravan, Tasmina Ahmed Sheikh, and Jim Eadie. They also stood sitting MPs Hanby and McCaskill. However, the party performed very poorly, winning less than 2% of the list vote and winning no seats. In 2023, after her unsuccessful bid to succeed Nicola Sturgeon, Ash Regan, a current MSP for the SNP, defected to Alba. She profiled the party on strong opposition to gender self-ID, an issue that had led to tensions between her and Sturgeon. Party leader Alex Salmond passed away in 2024, and in 2025 the party leadership contest to replace him turned sour and dirty. Kenny McCaskill ended up winning against Ash Regan, but tensions seem to have formed that may likely spell a slow and steady decline for the party. The Animal Welfare Party. The Animal Welfare Party is an animal rights party founded in 2006 by two activists. The party advocates for veganism, an end to fishing, and a transformation to sustainable farming, as well as for pro-climate measures and banning animal testing. It's by all means a very one-policy party. It first stood in the 2008 London Assembly election, where it won just shy of 2,000 votes, about 0.1% of the total vote, and won no seats. And from then onwards, it's been a fairly stable presence in European elections, general elections, and devolved elections. Although it's never won any seats, it contested 1 seat in 2010, 4 in 15 and 17, 6 in 19, and 4 again in 2024. Its best performance so far was in 2019, where it won more than 3,000 votes. The party has also stood for elections in devolved parliaments, winning a couple thousand votes each time around. The party's best part of the country is very much London. It stood in both the 2021 and 2024 London mayoral elections, winning almost 17,000 votes in 21 and over 29,000 in 24. It is by all means very much a non-factor in politics. It's never won a seat, not even for council, and it does not get very much media attention. The Christian People's Alliance. The Christian People's Alliance is a Christian democratic party with socially conservative views founded in 1999. The party arose from the anti-secularist cross-party group, the Movement for Christian Democracy. This group was formed in 1990 by 3 MPs, 1 Conservative, 1 Labourite and 1 Liberal Democrat. It did not become a political party until 1999, when some members of the group decided this was the best way to promote their views. The party first stood in the 2000 London mayoral election and the Assembly. They did not win any seats, but they did finish in a decent 5th place in the mayoral contest. In the following years, they would contest a handful of seats for all UK general elections, as well as a long list of by-elections. None of this has proved particularly successful, but what has is the fact that the party has won a handful of council seats in both London and Yorkshire. The party is still up and running, and it stood 22 candidates in the 2024 general election, winning a total of over 5,000 votes, though never close to actually winning a seat. The Climate Party. The Climate Party is a centre-right liberal green party that advocates for a pro-business green transition. It was founded in 2022 by Buckinghamshire independent councillor Ed Gemmell. Gemmell has also led the party in the years following the formation of the party. Formally, he sits on the council and successfully won re-election earlier this year as an independent, but notionally, he is the one and only Climate Party elected official in Britain. In 2023, the party stood in 2 by-election candidates, garnering less than 50 votes in each, and in 2024, the party fielded 13 candidates for the 24 election. No candidate won any seat, and the most votes by a single candidate was won by Gemmell, who won just shy of 500 votes. The party is very much still up and running, but it is also very much small and niche and a pet project by a single councillor. The Communist Party of Britain. The Communist Party of Britain is a Marxist-Leninist communist party that was founded in 1988 as a splinter party of the Communist Party of Great Britain. In the 80s, a massive row had developed between Marxist-Leninist communists and Euro-communists, who were much more supportive of notions of democracy. This conflict erupted and led to a group of suspended members of the Communist Party of Great Britain to found the Communist Party of Britain, which was much more critical of democracy and supportive of Soviet-style communism. The party is a member of the International Meeting of Communist and Workers' Parties, an international organization that also includes the North Korean ruling Workers' Party and the Cuban ruling Communist Party. The Communist Party of Britain has contested local elections for devolved parliaments, the European Parliament, as well as general elections, without ever winning seats. Interestingly, in the 2017 and 19 general election, the party decided not to stand candidates and instead endorsed the Jeremy Corbyn-led Labour Party. But they were back on the ballot paper in 2024, standing 14 candidates, winning more than 2,600 votes. The English Democrats. The English Democrats are a right-wing party that advocates for English devolution and an English parliament similar to the Scottish and Welsh devolved ones. The party was founded in 2002, a few years after other devolved parliaments had been founded. In its early years, the English Democrats saw a handful of other small right-wing parties merge with them. First, it was Reform UK, not that Reform UK, but an early 2000s UKIP splinter party. Then it was the New England Party, and then Veritas. The English Democrats achieved a serious degree of political power when their candidate Peter Davies won the mayoralty for Doncaster in 2009. However, only a few years later, he would leave the party alongside a councillor due to concerns the membership was moving too far right. In the early 2000s, they also won a few councillor seats around England. However, today the party is not represented on any councils, and while it does still stand candidates at elections, in 2024 general, they stood 15, averaging less than 350 votes. The Heritage Party. The Heritage Party is a right-wing Eurosceptic UKIP splinter party that was founded in 2020 by London Assemblyman David Curtin, who stood for London Mayor under the party banner the following year. The party very much gained a profile during those early 2020s as one of a handful of small right-wing parties that opposed measures to combat the COVID-19 pandemic. Curtin publicly opposed both the vaccine and lockdowns, which garnered him criticism but also media attention. In the mayoral election, Curtin came a disappointing 15th. However, the party has managed to stay alive afterwards. They've stood candidates in most by-elections since then. They've stood 41 candidates in the 2024 general election, winning a total of over 6,500 votes, and they stood in 2023 and 24 local elections, winning a total of 4 councillor seats. The Independent Network. The Independent Network is not really a political party, but it is technically a political party as it's registered with the Electoral Commission. It's a network that supports and endorses independent candidates irrespective of political ideologies. The party, which is more of a non-profit, offers campaigning assistance to independent candidates that they argue would make good local representatives. Gaining an endorsement offers a candidate support from the Independent Network's 3-member staff, as well as the right to add their questionable logo next to their name. The Independent Network has had some success on the back of local elections, but has never broken through on the national level. In the 2024 general election, where a surprising number of independent candidates actually broke through and managed to be elected, none of the Independent Network's 5 candidates won their seats. The Liberal Party. The Liberal Party is a classical liberal party that emphasizes economic liberalism a bit over social liberalism, which is the main pillar of the Liberal Democrats. The party was founded in 1989 and intended as a continuation of the old Liberal Party, which had been one of the main parties of power before Labour became a contender in the early 20th century. While most of the old Liberal Party merged with the Social Democratic Party, a centrist splinter party from Labour, in 1989 to form the Liberal Democrats, a few loyal Liberal Party members, including its former MP Michael Meadowcroft, decided to reject this merger. While the Liberal Democrats have gone on to become a fixture of the British political party system, the Liberal Party is seemingly dying a very slow death. The party currently has 7 councillors and have never been elected to Westminster or any devolved parliament. The party does still stand a handful of candidates in general elections. 2024, they stood 12 candidates, with each winning an average of roughly 500 votes. The official monster raving Loony Party. The official monster raving Loony Party is a satirical party that was founded in 1982 by musician Screaming Lord Sutch. The party has become a bit of an institution, a sign of Britain's oftentimes eccentric political system and culture. The look of their candidates is one of stereotypical Britishness as well. Sutch had previously stood for office under other satirical party names, but in 1983 he stood in the Bermondsey by-election under the Monster Raving Loony banner. He would soon team up with other satirical candidates to parody British politics. The party fielded candidates in back-to-back-to-back general elections, never really winning seats, but always getting a few thousand votes. In 1999, Sutch committed suicide and Howling Laud Hope took over running the party. It's continued faithfully standing candidates in general elections as well as by-elections to this date. They always make a point out of standing in prominent seats, such as those of the Prime Minister and Leader of the Opposition, so a photo of the PM next to a nutty, monster-raving loony is very common. The party has managed a few successful elections of parish and town council seats, but these were all mostly uncontested races that didn't warrant much consideration. The best general election for the party came in 2019 when they almost got 10,000 votes. The Party of Women. The Party of Women is a gender-critical party that was founded in 2023 by Kelly J. Keane Minshall, a rather prolific anti-trans campaigner who's often accredited to have coined the phrase adult human female, the standard gender-critical definition of the word woman. Shortly after the party was registered, a former Labour councillor in Cheshire defected to the Party of Women. The party stood 5 candidates in the 2024 local elections, but failed to get any seats. In the same year, it also stood 16 candidates at the general election, including founder and leader Keane Minshall. However, it did still manage to win over 5,000 votes. While this isn't bad for a first general election, this party, despite clearly managing to cough up funds and candidates, the Party of Women has really struggled to gain much attention and to grow. In the 2025 council elections, they only managed to stand a single candidate who got around 50 votes. The Reclaim Party. The Reclaim Party is a far-right populist party that was founded in 2019 under the name of Brexit Express by British mega-millionaire Jeremy Hosking. In 2020, the party leadership was passed on to actor Lawrence Fox, who renamed the party Reclaim, and it continued to be bankrolled by Hosking. Fox and the Reclaim Party are very socially conservative, vaccine skeptic, and climate crisis denying. Fox has posted videos of himself burning the pride flag and has been charged with non-consensual sharing of upskirting photo and encouraging people to vandalize ULEZ cameras. The party first stood in the 2021 London mayoral election, where Lawrence Fox himself stood. During the election, Reclaim received an endorsement from Reform UK, but only managed a 6th place, coming behind the mainstream parties and YouTuber Nico Omilani. The party would go on to compete in 2 by-elections, including the Uxbridge and South Ruislip election, where they formed an electoral pact again with Reform UK. In 2023, Andrew Bridgen, a recently expelled Conservative MP who had shared scepticism of the COVID vaccine, joined Reclaim, giving them parliamentary representation. The party did not stand any candidates in 2024, instead endorsing 4 Conservative candidates and otherwise endorsing Reform UK. The Rejoin the EU Party. The Rejoin the EU Party is a pro-European Union party advocating for the United Kingdom to roll back Brexit and rejoin the EU. The party was founded in 2020 by Brendan Donnelly, a former Conservative member of the European Parliament. Donnelly still serves as party leader today. Aside from their views to rejoin the EU, they also advocate for rejoining the single market in the meantime. Their other policies are generally centre-left, advocating for solutions to climate change and a softly pro-legal migration system. They also advocate for a more representational system of elections. Since its formation, the party has stood in 8 parliamentary by-elections, student council elections and mayoral elections, as well as fielding a whopping 26 candidates in the 2024 general election, garnering over 9,000 votes. Aside from Donnelly, the party has also been joined by John Stevens, another former Conservative MEP. So far, they have yet to get any representation at national, devolved or council level. They had a little success with a parish council election in Oxfordshire, but that's also about it. The Scottish Family Party. The Scottish Family Party is a Scottish socially conservative party of the Christian right. It very strongly opposes abortion as well as LGBT rights, and it was founded in 2017 by a former UKIP member, Richard Lucas. The party has especially tried to define itself in opposition to recent Scottish laws, both the hate crime law that makes hate speech a crime and the buffer zone law that bans protest outside abortion clinics. The party has also attracted a fair amount of criticism and controversy for links to the neo-Nazi Patriotic Alternative group, as well as for posting poorly received jokes about the Joe Cox murder and the Holocaust. Since the party's founding, it has stood 2 candidates in the 2019 general election, stood in the 2021 Scottish and the 2022 Scottish local elections, and stood in the 2023 Rutherglen by-election and fielded 16 candidates in the 24 general election. However, it's never won any seats at any level. The Social Democratic Party. The Social Democratic Party is an economically centre-left and socially centre-right social democratic party. It's Eurosceptic, migrant skeptic, but in favour of a strong welfare state. It was founded in 1990 as a rejection of the old Social Democratic Party and the Liberals merging into the Liberal Democrats in 1988. The old Social Democratic Party was a splinter group from Labour by 4 sitting and former moderate Labour MPs who thought Labour, which had just elected Michael Foot as leader, was too far left. It should be noted that in the 2 years between the new and the old Social Democratic parties, there was yet another Social Democratic Party led by former Labour MP David Owen, who had been a member of the original Gang of Four. But this party dissolved after a poor by-election result in Bootle. However, a few activists did not want to see the party die, and therefore founded this new Social Democratic Party. In its first many years, it was mostly a party at a local level, staying competitive in various council seats across Britain. But in recent years, it has actually been gaining ground. In 2018, a UKIP member of the European Parliament defected and joined the SDP, and the past couple of years have seen an exponential growth of the amount of candidates fielded in general elections. In 2024, the party stood 122 candidates at the general, winning 34,000 votes, though never close to actually winning a seat. The Yorkshire Party. The Yorkshire Party is a regionalist social democratic party in, you guessed it, Yorkshire. It was founded in 2014 by a group of Yorkshire-based businessmen calling for a devolved assembly for Yorkshire, similar to a London assembly or devolved parliaments in Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland. Since its founding, the party has stood in 2 European elections and 4 general elections. In 2024, they stood 27 candidates across Yorkshire seats, one down from the 2019 election and won over 17,000 votes, but no seats. Their best general election was in 2019, when they won over 29,000 votes with 28 candidates. They also stood in the West Yorkshire mayoral election in 2021, where they came in 3rd, as well as the 2022 Wakefield and 2023 Selby and Ainsty by-elections, where they came in 4th place in both. On a local level, the party currently has 3 councillors. That is, despite tending to stand a fairly strong slate of local candidates. So, while it's become a mainstay on ballot papers across Yorkshire, the party itself does not and has not been a regional power of much significance. The Trade Unionist and Socialist Coalition. The Trade Unionist and Socialist Coalition is an electoral alliance of a few Trotskyist socialist movements. It was founded in 2009 by a handful of trade unions and minor socialist parties with the intention to contest the 2010 election. The largest trade union affiliated was the National Union of Rail, Maritime and Transport Workers, or the RMT. Its general secretary at the time, Bob Crow, was also a co-founder of the Electoral Alliance, alongside former Labour MP Dave Nellist, who continues leading it today. The party managed to stand 37 candidates in its first general election in 2010, winning almost 12,000 votes. Stood again in 2015, this time winning 34,000 votes with their 128 candidates. In 2017 and 19, it decided not to stand and rather endorse the Jeremy Corbyn-led Labour Party instead. But in 2024, it was back with 40 candidates, winning almost 13,000 votes. It's never won a parliamentary seat. The party also stands for Welsh and Scottish parliamentary elections, as well as local and mayoral elections. It's managed to get a small handful of councillors elected, though a couple of them were removed from council due to non-attendance. Today, the party only has one councillor, a defector from Welsh Labour. The UK Independence Party. The UK Independence Party, or better known as UKIP, is a right-wing Eurosceptic party. It was founded in 1993 by a former unsuccessful Liberal candidate, Alan Sked, under a different name, the Anti-Federalist League. It rebranded in 1993 with the help of a new founding member, Nigel Farage, but did not make much of a splash, and despite standing in general and European elections, it did not get many votes. Then, in 1997, Sked was pushed out by Farage and his allies. The party would win 3 seats in the 1999 European Parliament election, including seats for Farage and new party leader Michael Holmes, who would soon also be pushed out of position by Farage allies. The party would continue to grow. In 2004, at European Parliament elections, it won 12 seats. In 2006, after a series of leaders, Farage was elected leader and led the party to a yet higher turnout in 2009, where they won 13 MEPs, and then even higher in 2014 with 24. Then, in 2014, in a by-election in Clacton, it won its first ever parliamentary seat. In the following years, it won another by-election, a bunch of councillors, including taking control of Thanet Council, and it won 7 seats in the Welsh Assembly. Then came the 2016 Brexit referendum, which UKIP had played a massive role in securing. During the campaign, the party campaigned with the Leave EU campaign group. After the Leave side won, UKIP quickly declined. Farage resigned as leader, councillors up and down the country slowly started leaving and defecting. The far-right agitator Tommy Robinson was brought on as an advisor, which upset Farage, who left the party entirely then to found the Brexit Party, which would become today's Reform UK Party. Today, UKIP is a very minor factor in UK politics. It's moved substantially further to the right than what it used to be. Most supporters it had during its heyday have long left, and in 2023, it lost its last councillors. It does, however, still stand in elections. In the 2024 general, it stood 24 candidates, winning 6,500 votes, but no seats. The Workers' Party of Britain. The Workers' Party of Britain is a far-left socialist populist party with strains of Islamism, leading to generally socially conservative views, especially on homosexuality and gender self-ID. It was founded in 2019 by UK political superstar George Galloway. Galloway was once a prominent figure on the Labour left, but after disagreements with leadership over Iraq, he went on to join a minor party for which he was successfully elected MP. Then, in 2019, he founded the Workers' Party of Britain following the resignation of the very left-wing Labour leader, Jeremy Corbyn. The party was founded in cooperation with the Communist Party of Britain. The Workers' Party of Britain struggled for a bit to gain traction, but in 2024, supercharged by the Israel-Hamas conflict, Galloway won a parliamentary by-election in Rochdale for the party. In the 2024 general election, they stood a whopping 152 candidates, but did not manage to win any seats, despite getting second place in 3 constituencies. And that's it. What I think are the 20 most prominent minor parties in Britain. Let me know if you think I missed out on any other prominent ones in the comments below. If you liked this video, make sure to give it a like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.